Some people gave me funny looks at the Sydney protest against Herzog when I was wearing my protective equipment, a helmet, ballistic goggles, earmuffs, but was I wrong? So many people were pepper sprayed at that rally, and protective goggles can help with that, as can a mask. If you get hit by the long-range acoustic device, which police did have at the rally, then you want to be wearing earmuffs, and I was very glad to be wearing a helmet when I was tackled by police. By the way, thank you to everyone who has donated to replace the equipment that the police stole or smashed. It's been more than enough to pay for everything, so I'm also investing in more flyers, a folding table that will help at events, so thank you again. Now, what are the lessons from the rally? I think, one, we need to just get really serious about protecting ourselves from police at protests. We need to understand what weapons they're going to bring, what sort of tactics they'll use, and develop our own tactics to counter these and bring protective equipment. You can read all about that at our website. We've had some victories already, with the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission agreeing to investigate the police. That goes directly against the wishes of our Premier, Chris Minns. And we've seen the restrictions on protests have been lifted, but the underlying legislation is still in place, so those restrictions can come back. And we still have a Labor government at a federal and state level who invited Herzog here. They support Israel's genocide in Gaza and support the police bashing anyone who opposes that genocide. So we're going to have to work really hard, put pressure on them from below to remove this legislation, to disarm, defund the police. We won't achieve these political aims unless we keep protesting. And I know that might sound like a scary prospect given the way the police have behaved, but it's our only option. If we just stay home and accept creeping authoritarianism, then that only creates an illusion of safety. We will all suffer in the long term. We are seeing the global rise of an authoritarian far-right movement, right? Like, one nation could get into power in Australia, according to the recent polls. There are nationalist parties all over Europe that might get into government. And Israel is seemingly facing no consequences for their genocide. Our government is supporting it. And in America, we've seen ICE terrorizing people on the streets, but they're pulling out of Minneapolis because people organised, they protected each other, they protested. We can do the same. Without protests and direct action, you wouldn't have the right to vote, a minimum wage, weekends, there'd be no child labour laws, and queer people couldn't get married. But all of these things could also be taken away if we don't fight. So let's get serious about the police. Stop voting for politicians that support police violence and talk to your friends and family about that. Join an activist group or legal observers, or train to become a street medic. And go to anticop.com.au so that you have the tools to win.